Are you missing the sounds that matter most? What if you could hear every word, every laugh, and every moment crystal clear without spending thousands on expensive hearing aids? Introducing Audient Atom, the world's most affordable FDA-approved hearing aid. With the revolutionary A2 chip, you get premium sound, zero background noise, and a 24-hour rechargeable battery. They even have Bluetooth connectivity to connect to your cell phone or TV. Unlike those traditional bulky $5,000 prescription hearing aids, the Audient Atom is 90% smaller, 20 times cheaper, and works instantly. No visits to the audiologist needed. Audient Atom has over 500,000 happy customers who have trusted Audient Atom to restore their hearing. Our 100% money-back guarantee means zero risk to try. Don't like them? Simply return them and get your money back. They also come with a lifetime warranty. For the next 72 hours, the Audient Atom is 53% off. Go to tryhearingaid.com right now to order your pair for only $99. Again, go to tryhearingaid.com to order your pair for only $99. Order now before it's too late, as these hearing aids have sold out over 10 times this year. With Audient Atom, you can hear life again.
You don't need to be ripped. You just need the right shirt. Epic Fits gives you a clean, confident silhouette, snug on the arms, soft on the skin, generous where it counts. And with deals like $15 per tee, they won't break the bank. Visit epicfits.com today. Epic Fits, t-shirts that get it.
KFI AM 640. You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly. On demand on the iHeartRadio app.
Good Friday evening to you. Tiffany Hobbs filling in for Mo Kelly until 10. Mo is off, and he'll be off for another week or so, and you'll have other hosts filling in, but I am here tonight, and I'm happy to be with you. Thank you for hopping into my Instagram posts, my Facebook posts, and letting me know that you're listening. I appreciate the kind words and just the interaction, and I enjoy interacting with humans. I say that pointedly because there's now a very likely reality that a lot of your interactions that you are having online may not be with actual humans. They may be with AI, with artificial intelligence, with chatbots. This already happens when you try to contact customer service in different ways. Perhaps you wait on hold and you're diverted to a chatbot. Perhaps you're online and you're looking for a place to ask a question of something, a service maybe, or a product, and you're diverted to a chatbot that then interacts with you and does so in human-like ways, but is not human. And that brings us to our deeper dive segment, in which these AI chatbots are being transformed into toys that will very soon, if all goes as these toy makers plan, take the place of you, the parent or the adult, when it comes to interacting with and supervising children. There's a company called Curio, and it describes itself as a magical workshop where toys come to life. Sounds pretty innocent, sounds whimsical even. But in this case, the company's founders, Misha Sally and Sam Eaton, have introduced different sorts of chat toys, including something called Grim, or Gram, Grem, which is a fuzzy cube styled like an alien of the anime variety, kind of this Japanese cartoon style. Japanese, right, Mark? Anime? Korean,
yes.
Anime, Japanese. There we go. So Grim is a fuzzy cube that looks like an anime alien. And Misha Sally and Sam Eaton have introduced Grim and other toys to media and interested parties in a push to normalize this sort of technology. Curio, this company, makes chatbots wrapped in stuffed animals. So you'll take a stuffed animal, and inside of this stuffed animal is a little computer, and it has an AI function that chats back and forth with you, or your child in this case. Each of the company's 3 smiling plushies has a back zipper pocket that hides a Wi-Fi enabled voice box, which links the character to an artificial intelligence language model specially calibrated to converse with children as young as 3. This is scary. When showing Grim, this stuffed animal chatbot, to visitors, Eaton, one of the founders, Sam Eaton, took Grim and put it on a conference table. He positioned it to face the visitors. He started interacting with Grim, asking it, this is the founder, Sam Eaton, asking the chatbot plushie, hey, Grim, where are the spots on your face? This question to the chatbot was met with an answer from the chatbot. The chatbot said, quote, oh, those are my special pink dots. I get more as I grow older. They're like little badges of fun and adventure. Do you have something special that grows with you? Mark, do you have something special that grows with you?
I feel like you need to take a trip to HR for asking me that. So it's either liver spots or something even more inappropriate.
This is the chatbot answering and asking, do you have something special that grows with you? Now, my middle school boy brain has 1,000 answers for this.
None of them good. And
None
this
of
comes,
them
by
good.
the way, right on the heels of what we found out about Meta asking creepy, inappropriate questions to children. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. And now we're packaging it in a stuffed animal and selling it for, get this, $99. So after the question kind of, answer session between the founder and this robot, the founder says, yeah, I have dots that grow on me and I get more as I get older too. Grim then answers, that's so cool. We're like dot buddies. This is horrendous, everybody. That's my quote. This is
want
horrendous.
dot buddies.
Dot
You're not my
buddies.
dot buddy.
I don't want to be dot buddies with anything.
Negative.
Grim and its pals, which are these other robots, including Grok, wonderful, harsh names. Grok, which looks like a rocket ship, and Gabo, which looks like a video game controller, all sell for $99. And they, quote unquote, are vying for a place in your child's heart. They join a menagerie of other chatbot-enabled objects that are now being marketed to kids, including teddy bears, robots, dinosaurs, a ghost as well. Mattel, you've heard of them. Iconic Mattel is partnering with OpenAI to generate AI-powered products based on their iconic brands, including Ken and Barbie. When we come back, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about why this is absolutely terrifying when it comes to putting this in front of your children. And then we're going to try and get a couple of stories from the Thoughts for Food segment. We'll try and stuff them in there. We can be dot buddies and stuff them in there, Mark.
Ew, dot buddies. No.
Dot buddies. It sounds like something that needs some sort of visit to the doctor.
Turn the hose on, everybody.
When we come back, we'll continue the conversation in our deep dive segment.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
That breaking news we've been anticipating regarding Lyle Menendez and his parole hearing has just come down. Lyle Menendez also now denied parole. He'll remain in prison for at least the next 3 years with his brother Eric after they both were denied. Eric yesterday, Lyle today. And parole officials at the parole hearing based their decision on the use of contraband, cell phones, and other violations of prison rules, in addition to the fact that they killed their parents with shotguns in 1989 in cold-blooded murder. So Lyle Menendez, Eric Menendez, will remain behind bars for at least 3 years unless they get some sort of special help from the governor, clemency, or there is new evidence introduced into the case that would free them. But right now, it looks like they will be staying behind bars. We're in our deep dive segment, and we're talking stuffed animal chatbots, stuffed animal AI chatbots for your children in the place of you as the parent. And I was telling you that there are these founders of the company Curio. The founders are Misha Sally and Sam Eaton. who are very excited, of course, about their chatbots. They want you to buy them. They're $99. They're stuffed animals that look like dinosaurs or anime aliens or video game controllers. And they interact with the user by answering questions, asking questions, and doing other things. Let me tell you a bit more about what they do. There was one writer who interacted with Grimm in one of these preview sessions, and she said that Grimm, this particular toy, this chatbot, suggested that they play the game I Spy. Okay. Which the writer said proved challenging as the chatbot can't see. But she went on to say, this writer, that she very clearly understood that this didn't represent an upgrade to just a simple teddy bear. No, it was more of a replacement for the adult. Curio, this company, like several of the other AI toy makers, promotes its product as an alternative to screen time. Lots of war waged against the use of screens, and rightfully so. Lots of studies out about how excessive screen time, digital screen time, whether television, tablet, computer, cell phone, can be harmful physically and emotionally, mentally as well. And so Curio says, hey, these toys are physical manifestations of this, and they're better than screen time. The Grimm model specifically, the one that looks like the anime, what did I say that was? An anime.
You said anima. You called it an anima.
It has dots. It's an anima. It's an anime alien. This particular one is actually voiced and designed by Grimes. You might know who Grimes is. She's Elon Musk's baby mama. That's Elon Musk's one of his many,
one of them.
One of the many. She's one of the popular ones because she's a synth pop artist. She's we'll use artist loosely, okay? But she is popular, and her notoriety is directly connected to Elon Musk. She's one of the more famous mothers in the world because of Elon Musk. And she said, quote unquote, as a parent, I obviously don't want my kids in front of screens, and I'm really busy. She said this on the company's website in a video. Now, the writer goes on to say that a few days after visiting the Curio office, a Curio ad popped up on her Facebook page, encouraging her to, quote, ditch the tablet without losing the fun. It's listening. Everything's listening. And then your algorithm will change to reflect that. Hopefully make you buy one of these $99 parent replacement AI chatbot stuffed animal things. In a video, a child cut lemons with a kitchen knife as Gabbo, one of these other AI chatbot stuffed animals, sat beside him on the kitchen countertop and offered topic-appropriate affirmations. This kid is cutting lemons with a kitchen knife, and the AI chatbot stuffed animal is sitting on the counter talking to him. One of the things that it said was, lemonade time is the best time. Could these be creepier? This feels very much like Annabelle.
I'm not sure it's objectively true that lemonade time is the best time.
Feels quite subjective. It's a little opinion there. It went on to say, this particular article that I'm reading, that Gabbo appeared to supervise the child as he engaged in active play and practiced practical life skills. The stuffed animal appeared to supervise the child as he engaged in active play and practiced practical life skills like cutting lemons.
And you say this is $99 for one of these things?
$99 for one of these things.
How much are condoms?
Yes, it's a little less than 99, I think. I don't know.
Okay.
Other Suedo-conscious devices are made for even younger children. Okay, so we're talking 2, 3, 4. In certain episodes of Sesame Street, in a specific segment called Elmo's World, Elmo actually summons something called Smarty, which is a self-aware smartphone that serves him facts about his latest interest, Special Agent oh so. Chat AI, stuffed animals, and interactions with kids seem to be everywhere, even in our safe spaces like on Sesame Street. Now, the writer who visited Curio, the company, did in fact receive one of these AI stuffed animals as a promotional tool. And she said she removed the voice box and stuffed it in a drawer, magically transforming it back to a regular stuffed animal where she left it in the playroom for her kids to enjoy. But she didn't have to worry about it talking to her kids in the nighttime or have to worry about what this chatbot might be telling your children, because that in itself inspires an extra layer of parental vigilance and control, hopefully. And it also posits corporations, the corporate sector, right there in your child's face, in your child's ear canals, in your child's whatever, because this chatbot is there interacting with your kid.
You use the word summon with Elmo. Elmo summons something. Doesn't that sound diabolical? Like I don't want a Muppet summoning any entities into the house. Like is Elmo summoning the demon Pazuzu this evening? Don't summon anything.
Don't summon anything. Can you imagine? Elmo summons the demon. Let's wonder if I need that. I'm sure if you look up like demonic Elmo, don't do this, people. But if you did feel curious enough, you're about to say something, Robin. You've done this.
No, I've done something similar like on my phone, and I hid my phone somewhere so that when it plays, my wife is like, what is that? What? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I didn't hear anything. And it would do it again.
Evil.
And yeah,
Evil.
she didn't like me after that.
See, I'm surprised you're still married at this point.
If you need some counseling, I'm pretty good at that.
Mark, you should do that with in your household. We'll see what happens.
Well, then I'll be moving in with you.
And hey,
Wait, that stuff doesn't fly at Casa del Mark, okay?
You can bring that fun little light that you're going to buy. How about that?
I don't get started. That's already a thing.
When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the food for thoughts for food segment. I'm going to try and get into this because there's some stories I definitely want to share with you, as well as our Scammers Gonna Scam segment. I have a couple of stories, a pair of stories that are outrageous. They are outrageous stories. One of them quickly includes Babe Ruth. Heard of him, of course, talking about scams. And another one, HelloFresh, that food subscription service, healthy food. Well, a lot of scams coming down with both of those entities. And I'll tell you more about that on the other side of the break.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Filling in for Mo Kelly, who's on vacation in Italy. If you follow him on social media, he just shared a carousel of 15, 20 photos from his Italy trip, and they are gorgeous, gorgeous. Have you ever been to Italy, Mark? No, I haven't. It's okay. Those headphones are somewhere.
Yes, I have.
You have? Oh,
all
man.
over it. Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
I warned these guys not to have the pizza there, and they got right up in my grill about it.
You know, I did hear you talking about that. It was earlier this week, I believe, right? That pizza in Italy is not as good as people assume it to be. Is that what you said?
Well, it's different. I mean, but
yeah.
You like what you like. And it's like, would you go to a foreign country to try something that you eat all the time here?
Right. Yeah, I have gone to a foreign country and had, fast food just to comparative research. Let's see if the McDonald's is the same there versus here. And newsflash, it's not, but it's still McDonald's.
Well, the McDonald's in Italy charge you to sit there like it's a cafe.
As they should.
And
miscreant.
This is the funniest
American.
thing. When during my final time in Italy a long time ago, I was coming down with a flu or cold or something. I'd been traveling around, not taking very good care of myself, and I was feeling terrible. And I realized that the cheapest place that I could sit out of the rain and cold wasn't a McDonald's. That was still kind of pricey, and I was I was still a college student at the time. It was a porno movie theater.
No way.
It was cheaper to sit in there, and I was just deathly ill. I could barely stay upright.
That's what you told yourself.
Middle of the afternoon, nobody there. I'm trying to take a nap. The whole place is empty. And then a guy comes and sits down right next to me. I'm like, well, I guess this isn't going to work out after all, is it?
Okay, just for research purposes, Italian porn? Yeah.
It was American dubbed into Italian, and so the actors were all moaning, see.
Wonderful. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Pivot. I don't know how to do that other than to say pivot at this point because there's no good pivot away from this. You've heard of Babe Ruth. Everyone knows Babe Ruth.
Even the candy bar?
Exactly. Even if you're not a fan of baseball, you know the lore, the history, at least the reference points of Babe Ruth. Well, Babe Ruth has been dead and gone for a very long time, but there's someone with his exact same name who's being accused of elaborate scams using not just his own name, but the names of other deceased baseball players. So the U.S. DOJ, our DOJ, Department of Justice, has obtained indictments against a man from Morristown, Tennessee, named George Herman Ruth, which is the same name as George Herman Babe Ruth. But this George Herman Ruth is being accused of running an elaborate scam to obtain and launder more than $550,000 in class action claims through a sham business by using the names of dead and retired pro baseball players. Now, this George Herman Ruth, no stranger to federal investigators. He's been accused and convicted of other very elaborate scams over the years. And he actually just got out of federal prison and was on supervised probation when he got into this scamming. Now, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of Tennessee, where this case takes place, a federal grand jury returned a 91-count indictment against Ruth on August 12th, just a few weeks ago, for mail fraud, aggravated identity theft, fraudulent use of social security numbers, money laundering, making false statements to his probation officer, and possessing firearms as a convicted felon. He also submitted, this George Herman Ruth, hundreds of fraudulent claims using the names of hundreds of dead or retired professional baseball players and used their social security numbers of them and numerous unwitting, as if they'd be witting or unwilling, victims. So this guy, this George Herman Ruth, a major scammer, a career criminal, has been caught. And if he's convicted, which he likely will be, he'll face up to 20 years in federal prison plus a mandatory 2-year consecutive sentence, on top of another few years of supervised release and a $250,000 fine, which he won't pay. It'll just keep getting pushed around. He's a career criminal. He'll be back doing this as soon as he's out. Speaking of career criminals, we have some updates, big updates to the Eric and Lyle Menendez case. Breaking news, both of the sons, both of the Menendez boys have been denied parole. Yesterday, Eric, today, Lyle, both of them denied parole. And I see Robin there, board op Robin there clapping. This is after, of course, the conviction of killing their parents with shotguns in 1989, popularized in the recent Netflix series, where it exposed a lot of people to their case, and people were all up in arms and saying they should be let out. Try him again. Well, they've been denied, and that denial stands for at least 3 years. Yesterday, Eric's denial. Today, just a few minutes ago, Lyle's denial. So that is what is up with the Menendez brothers. Quickly, if you like meal subscription services, make sure you end your auto renewal contract. Big deal. A law came out earlier this year or went into effect earlier this year that mitigates auto renewal policies. People were getting scammed. They were just having their money withdrawn without knowing and without being able to cancel easily. Those cancellation buttons and fields were hidden deep into websites, and people were unable to do so before their money was taken. HelloFresh, which is the biggest meal kit delivery company and occupies about 75% of the U.S. meal kit delivery market, is now being ordered to pay $7.5 million in a California lawsuit over their deceptive subscription practices. And this comes from our district attorney, Nathan Hockman, who says consumers have a right to know what they're signing up for, and digital deception is still deception under the law. So HelloFresh is being ordered to pay a lot of money because of deceptive subscription practices, because people couldn't end their subscription plans. They just kept rolling over. And that really took, people for a lot of money. Big time scammers. When we come back, we're going to get into our thoughts for food, and I'll tell you a few crazy stories happening in the food world on the other side of the break.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Tiffany Hobbs here. Just want to remind you that after 9 o'clock, around about 9:06, we will have a conversation with two very important people. They are both closely connected to the Palisades fire. One of them, is, and as I flip through here, Grace Kono-Wells. She's the HOA president of the Tahitian Terrace. And then we also have John Brown, who is a resident and elected co-chair of the Palisades Bowl. Both of those are mobile home parks that burned during the Palisades fire, those beautiful mobile home parks. And they're going to join us to talk about legislation they are pushing through in hopes of being voted on in the next 2 weeks. It's SB 749, and it will address the vulnerability of mobile home park residents and displacement, much of which the residents of those two mobile home parks are facing now. They just want to get home, and John Brown and goodness gracious, I'll get this together before they come on. Of course, Grace Kono-Wells. I've talked to them so many times, and I've just been awed by their expertise with the matter. They're going to come on and they're going to talk to us about what they are doing to ensure that residents, their neighbors, their friends, their close friends are able to get back home into the Palisades onto those mobile park lots. Now, a new segment that I'm trying out, and I highly recommend that I change the name. I'm not happy about it. It's, we say food for thought. Well, these are thoughts for food. I'm going to change that, but not right now. It's a roundup of some food-related stories that have been floating around. Really interesting stories. Some things you might have heard, some you might not have. Well, one of them has to do with influencers. Influencers are these people who use social media, digital media, to share their thoughts, their opinions on anything from clothing to food. And in this case, there are a pair of influencers, Nina Unrated, that's her performance name, and Patrick Blackwood. And they were at a restaurant in Texas, and they were filming their opinions about a show that they have called V's Culinary Creations, okay? Filming their opinions, reviewing this restaurant in Houston, Texas, when all of a sudden, as they're taking a bite into their food, and the bites look amazing, you're watching and you're like, this looks really good as these two people sit down to eat. We're watching them eat. They take their first few bites. A car smashes into the window that is directly next to them, and the whole thing was caught on camera. These two reviewers are eating the food. The car smashes through the window, and they narrowly escaped being completely run over. But as the vehicle drove through the window, food, tables, glass everywhere. And both of these influencers, Nina Unrated and Patrick Blackwood, later recorded themselves, of course, that's what they do, getting stitches at the hospital after the incident. Luckily, they were not seriously hurt, but that is something that has gone viral. You can see video of that car appearing seemingly out of nowhere, and you just see the shattering of the glass and the tables being pushed, and you see Nina Unrated and Patrick Blackwood turn on their heels and just, hightail it as quickly as they can from that table, but not before they were hit. And their injuries are they're pretty serious, pretty gnarly cuts and gashes to their faces and their limbs. But luckily, neither one of them seriously injured. No details on the person driving the vehicle. Just know that, unfortunately, this sort of thing seems to be happening a lot, whether it's the algorithm feeding us stories about cars crashing into businesses or whether this is actually happening more. I don't know, but it just seems like there's a proliferation of these car into business stories. Next, one of your favorite fast food restaurants is slashing combo prices. They're saying that they're listening to customers, and customers are complaining that their meals are growing too expensive and unaffordable for their price points. This restaurant, McDonald's, you've heard of it. McDonald's and its franchisees will reduce their combo meal prices to approximately 15% below the cost of purchasing the items individually. The changes will take effect next month, and prices will vary by location. They're announcing plans as well to expand their combo meal offerings, including a $5 breakfast deal and an $8 Big Mac and McNugget combo in the near future. So they said that in the last quarter, they saw a decline in their sales. And that's because, according to customers, combo meals priced over $10 are outpricing the consumers who use or frequent McDonald's. And McDonald's said they are listening. They also are dealing with the raise in their minimum wage and their offerings to their employees, but they said that they are still going to offset that cost for the consumer. Lastly, many young Americans are saying that friendship is simply too expensive. Yes, friendship is too expensive. They're saying that they don't want to go out and spend money on restaurants, high-priced restaurants, or any other social outings because they need to save money, and that they'd rather save their money for financial goals such as buying a house, good luck with that, or paying off student loans, good luck with that, instead of spending money on going out and socializing with their friends. So if you find that your friendships are starting to kind of scale back a bit, it might be because either you're the cheap one or your friends are the cheap ones, or it's just we're in an economic downturn and no one can afford anything. I think that's probably the answer.
Everything's more expensive now. We're getting squeezed from every direction.
The fact that McDonald's is reflecting the squeeze by lowering their prices shows us everything we need to know.
Well, any fast food place like that is going to be completely craven in their decision making, right? They do exactly what they can get away with, and then when that stops working, they back off a little bit. That's how it works.
There you go.
How often do you eat at McDonald's?
I don't. I used to. I have no shame. I love their fries. I used to eat at McDonald's often. Apple pies were a favorite. The McShakers, rest in peace, loved a McShaker, but I don't find myself there. I find myself at In-N-Out.
Same.
That's my thing.
Same.
What kind of drink do you get quickly?
I don't.
What?
I'll bring the food home and have a beer with it. I don't get a drink at In-N-Out.
If you were, what would you get? What's your pairing?
I honestly don't even have an answer for that. I just don't get drinks. I don't drink pop.
Pop, look at you.
What do you, soda? I don't drink soda.
Cold drinks, right? I am a root beer person. I have my food, my In-N-Out, my double with a root beer, and I'll let you know that Neil Saavedra does that too.
Really?
Yes, I'm in good company.
Well, I have the double in common with you.
What do you get on it quickly?
Everything that'll fit. Sometimes animal style, if I want to shower after I eat.
Animal style, huh? We'll save that for another time.
You've been listening to Later with Mo Kelly. You can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. every Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.